heroic bosses. And when you beat the normal bosses and the class challenges, there's going to be cards that you earn that are going to affect the metagame. So week over week, there will be new bosses, new class challenges, new cards, new metagame. The thing that's a little bit different about Blackrock Mountain is it's got sort of a different vibe. I mean, Naxxramas has a very specific vibe. Blackrock Mountain is all about sort of two epic forces, villains that are inhabiting this place. On one hand, I want to talk sort of a little bit about the beginning, where we had this mountain. We have these dark Iron Dwarves who are living in this mountain, and they want to increase their power. So they think, we got a great idea. We're going to summon this Fire Lord Ragnaros, and he's going to work for us. That'll be awesome. And that didn't work out entirely as they planned, and then he showed up and enslaved them and brought a bunch of his fire buddies to hang out in the mountain and sort of tell them what to do. So the Dark Iron Dwarves are still there, but it's really Ragnaros running the show in the molten core of the mountain. And he has the same goal that, you know, a lot of epic villains do, and that's, of course, to take over the world. There's only one thing sort of standing in his way. There's another force in the mountain. There's the great dragon, Nefarian. And Nefarian sort of rules the top, the upper spire of Blackrock Mountain, and he has his Blackrock Orc buddies and tons of twisted creations that he and his alchemist has made to aid him. And he also has the goal, of course, to take over the world. The thing being said about those two forces is the one thing they hate more than the rest of the world is each other. And so they spend most of their time fighting each other. So what you're going to do is get involved in this struggle and start out by helping Nefarian, going down to have a little chat with Ragnaros to see if you can convince him to, well, probably die, actually. So in the mountain you're going to see, you know, fire elementals and all the fiery buddies of Ragnaros. You're going to see tons and tons of dragons. You're going to see all of the bosses. Well, I shouldn't say that. You will see a number of the bosses that you've seen from various dungeons and raids if you played World of Warcraft. So tons and tons of these characters will be all throughout the mountain and all throughout the Blackrock Mountain adventure. We are going to have 5 wings. There's going to be 17 bosses that you will do battle with. The first wing is Blackrock Depths. That's the Dark Iron Dwarves there on the left. They are going to be the first line of defense for Ragnaros, trying to stop you from getting to him. And so you're going to do battle with these Dark Iron Dwarves on your way into the second wing, which is, of course, the Molten Core, which is where Ragnaros lives. So the question is, what does one of these wings look like? Well, week 1, when Blackrock Mountain releases, is going to look like this. These are going to be the 3 bosses that you will do battle with. That being said, when you think about bosses in Blackrock Mountain, sometimes it's the mountain itself that is the villain. So in this case, the first boss, while it's technically Corrin Direbrew, it's actually the Green Guzzler is the boss. It's the bar where the Dark Iron Dwarves hang out and drink. So there's always a bar fight going on down there. There's always guys from all over leaping into the fight, and sort of his hero power is about that when you do battle with him, where guys from both your deck and Corrin Direbrew's deck are going to be constantly leaping into the fight just on their own. And you're going to have to build a deck around that to sort of defeat that mode of play, that way of facing an enemy. They'll then move into the Dark Iron Arena, where you'll battle tons of legendary minions from all over Azeroth if you want to fight your way through it, and finally to the Dark Iron Emperor, who is the last boss on the end of the first wing on your way to Ragnaros. And of course, when you defeat each of these, you'll get a card. When you defeat all of them, there's a legendary card at the end of the wing, and then there's more cards for the class challenges. This is what the new board looks like. And I'm actually always kind of blown away whenever our artists give us, you know, a new board, because each time I look at one of the boards and I look at the clickables that they put in the board, I sort of think that the new board is my favorite board, and this is no exception. You're going to be able to upgrade weapons as clickables on this board. You can summon dragons, you can play with runes, you can mess around with the lava. There's a lot of fun stuff to do with this board. So yeah, just playing with this board makes me happy. It is pretty awesome. So you're probably saying at this point, all of this is cool, I'm excited about this, but tell me about some of the cards that are going to affect the metagame in new ways, because I mean, that's really the heart of the Blackrock Mountain adventure. And so of course, you're going to see several cards that are related to the Dark Iron Dwarves. Dark Iron Dwarves are sort of core to the Blackrock Depths experience, and you're definitely going to get to play with some of those cards. The first is the Dark Iron Sculptor. This card is based around the idea, it's a rogue card, and it's based around the idea that what the backstab ability rogues have is awesome, and wouldn't it be more awesome if rogues got to backstab, you know, everybody? It's, from the metagame point of view, it's pretty interesting because it gives you the ability to drop a card and deal with a rush that's going on if there's a lot of low-cost stuff coming at you, and also leave a minion on the table to carry on the fight. So it's going to be interesting to see how this affects the rogue metagame. We have another Dark Iron Dwarf, the Grim Patron. So whenever he takes damage, another of his buddies jumps in. He's sort of like embodiment of the Grim Guzzler bar. So you can imagine playing this guy on the table, pinging him for one, okay, there's two of them on the table, playing Whirlwind, okay, there's four of them on the table, and very quickly you can overrun your enemy with just this guy. So he's pretty amazing for that as well. The heart of this adventure, though, is all about dragons. So we love the idea of dragons in Hearthstone, and we love the idea that, hey, I put, you know, a Nixia, or I put a Sarah, or I put, you know, Alex Strauss in my deck, but you can't really build a full deck around that idea. And we wanted you to be able to not just put that card into your deck and have it, you know, be a finisher for whatever the theme of the rest of your deck is. We wanted you to be able to put that card in your deck and have it be all about dragons. So we have a bunch of cards that really support the dragon theme. We have the Blackrock Technician. And so when she comes into play, if you're holding a dragon, if you have a dragon in your hand, she gets +1/+1. So it becomes a 3/5 for 3, which is a pretty strong minion. She's also pretty interesting because when she comes into play, if she gets +1/+1, you're actually communicating to your opponent, hey, I have a dragon in my hand. Based on the metagame, your opponent may be able to figure out what dragon it is in your hand and play around that. Or maybe you have a dragon they didn't expect and they play around with something you don't have. So there's a lot of communication that goes on here as well. But I definitely expect her to be one of the key pieces of a dragon deck. Of course, we have to have a dragon, or actually we have multiple dragons, but this is just one of them, for Blackrock Mountain. And so when it comes into play, it summons a 1-cost or random 1-cost minion for your opponent. So you think you can deal with it, but you're just not quite sure. But it makes for a lot of interesting things, and a 5, 6, or 4 is very, very strong. It wouldn't be an adventure around Blackrock Mountain unless we had this guy, Ren Blackhand, the chief of the Blackrock Orcs. And, you know, he's so badass that he rides a dragon. So what he does is, if you're holding a dragon when he comes into play, he destroys a legendary minion. So what that means is your opponent drops a legendary, they think they've got their in-game state met. You draw this guy, he takes out their legendary, and suddenly you have a big guy on the table and you turn things around and suddenly it's a whole different game. He's pretty awesome for that. Of course, we have a bunch more cards that will be coming as well. There will be more dragons, more fire cards, more class cards, more of all of that good stuff. So tons more cards coming, or actually, I guess, 31 total cards coming. And lastly, I wanted to talk a little bit about the card backs that are coming. So that season card back is the card back you get for getting to level 20 or to rank 20 or better in this season that's going on right now. It's pretty easy to do, and it's an awesome card back. The heroic card back is the card back you get if you defeat all of the bosses throughout all 5 wings of Blackrock Mountain on heroic. That's the card back you can show to show off that you're pretty much a badass. And the last one is actually a card back for pre-ordering Blackrock Mountain. So if you, on the 19th or 20th, depending on your region, it's going to be available for pre-order. When you do that, when Blackrock Mountain comes out, you will get all of the card, or you will get, you know, the wings as they come out, one wing at a time, but you get that card back immediately. And of course, March 19th or 20th wouldn't make a lot of sense for Blackrock Mountain unless you knew that it was also coming out next month. fancy decks you guys make with them, and all of your feedback about all of it. So that's it, and thank you very much for